so you've got this guy in a cauldron with the sledgehammer. And, have to get over things. This game will kill me. This game will kill me. I promise you, this game will be death. Okay.
Whoop.
Yay, made it. Stage 1. 400. Also,
Oh.
Okay. I suck at this game.
Whoop.
Most people do.
Whoop. There's no feeling more intense than starting over. If you deleted your homework the day before it was due, as I have, or if you left your wallet at home and you have to go back after spending an hour in the commute. If you won some money at the casino and then put all your winnings on red but it came up black. If you got your best shirt dry cleaned before a wedding and then immediately dropped food on it. If you won an argument with a friend and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view. Starting over is harder than starting up. If you're not ready for that, like if you've already had a bad day, then what you're about to go through might be too much. Feel free to go away and come back. I'll be here. Alright, thanks for coming with me on this trip. I'll understand if you have to take a break at any point. Just find a safe place to stop and quit the game. And don't worry, I'll save your progress, always. Even your mistakes. Oh. No. This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002, titled Sexy Hiking. The author of that game was Jazuo, a mysterious Czech designer who was known at the time as the father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects. Designers slap them together very quickly and freely, and they're often too rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished products. In a certain way, Sexy Hiking is the perfect embodiment of a B game. It's built almost entirely out of found and recycled parts, and it's one of the most unusual and unfriendly games of its time. In it, your task is simply to drag yourself up a mountain with a hammer. And that act of climbing, in the digital world or in real life, has certain essential properties that give the game its flavor. No amount of forward progress is guaranteed. Some cliffs are too sheer or too slippery. And the player is constantly, unremittingly in danger of falling and losing everything. Anyway, when you start Sexy Hiking, you're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire rest of the game. It might take you an hour to get over that tree, and a lot of people never got past it. You prod and you poke at it, exploring the limits of your reach and your strength, trying to find a way up and over. And there's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise. Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely confident in your ability to get through them once you have the correct method or the correct equipment or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixelated obstacle in Sexy Hiking is real.
Oh my god, shut up.
The obstacles in Sexy Hiking are unyielding, and that makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing. A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain. I'd have an idea for a new obstacle, and I'd build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard. But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier. It already felt like my inability to get past the new obstacle was my fault, as a player rather than as a builder. Imaginary mountains build themselves from our efforts to climb them, and it's our repeated attempts to reach the summit that turns those mountains into something real. When you're building a video game world, you're building with ideas. And that can be like working with quickset cement. You mold your ideas into a certain shape that can be played with, and in the process of playing with them, they begin to harden and set until they're immutable, like rock. And at that point, you can't change the world, not without breaking it into pieces and starting fresh with new ideas.
to make you guys laugh. It's actually really frustrating for me. This is me real raging. No, don't do that. Stay on the rock. Stay. Get up the rock. Okay, I'm on the rock. Let's see if I can do this. Oh my god. I swear. I'm gonna kill people. Don't get this part through again. Last time it was easy, now it's not. I know how to do it. It's just really difficult because it's like a fast reaction. Not to do it. Otherwise, fail. Okay, the tree, by the way, is up there, as I said. Don't mess this up. No. Okay. No, no. Okay, don't do that. Okay, that's right. No! Oh my god. Get on. Get on. Get. I was way too slow there, guys. I know. Try it from right here. Try it right here. Okay. Nope, can't do it. Can't do it. Try it again.
What?
No. Please don't do that. No. No.
What?
Oh my god. This game
What?
might look like it will be easy for you guys, but I promise you, a lot of people have not done this pretty well.
You've done this part before. You know it's possible. Just do what you did the first time.
I know I did this before. It's not as easy. Shut up. Stop. Okay. No. Back up here. Okay, good. Good. No. Back up. Try getting on the rock, please. Okay, let's try this. No. Again. Nope. Again. No. 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 Stop. Stop. Stop doing this. Stop. Okay, thank you. Here?
What?
Get up. Freaking thing.
Oh.
Okay. Alright, this is the tree he was talking about, guys. I can't go over this rock. I do. I go all the way back down. Okay. No.
For years now, people have been predicting that games would soon be made out of prefabricated objects, bought in a store and assembled into a world. And for the most part, that hasn't happened, because the objects in the stores are trash. I don't mean they look bad or that they're badly made, although a lot of them are. I mean they're trash in the way that food becomes trash as soon as you put it in the sink. Things are made to be consumed and used in a certain context, and once the moment is gone, they transform into garbage. In the context of technology, those moments pass by in seconds.
I did first try. But I felt up there and all the way back down there. Yeah, it's pretty raging. That ain't it. Again.
What? Over over time, we've poured more and more refuse into this vast digital landfill that we call the internet. It now vastly outnumbers and outweighs the things that are fresh and untainted and unused. When everything around us is cultural trash, trash becomes the new medium, the lingua franca of the digital age. And you can build culture out of trash. But only trash culture. Be games, be movies, be music, be philosophy.
Kill me. No!
Oh, you just lost a lot of progress. That's a deep frustration, a real punch in the gut.
Oh my god! Oh my god. Get up. Get up. Get up. Come on. There you go. Okay. Made it up. Clean up. Get it up here. No, no.
Oof, sorry about that.
Kill me. Over here. It's not a good idea to go right there. No. No. Ah, okay. Go back here. No. No. Okay. That was worse. Really, I'm just making here, please. No, no, no. Okay, okay, okay. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh, yes. I'm back. Okay, hold on. I need to take a quick break. Don't want to play this game, guys. Okay. Let's try this again. The same thing as last time. The break didn't help you any. That was worse. No. 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 Let's try this. Okay. I made it back here.
Maybe this is what digital culture is. A monstrous mountain of trash, the ash heap of creativity's fountain. A landfill with everything we ever thought of in it. Grand, infinite, and unsorted.
God. Just stop losing progress. Extend outwards. Get over that. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Back here. No. That's where I was, guys.
There's 3D models of breakfast, Gen X's fanfic novels, Scan magazines, green screen Shia LaBeouf, banned snuff scenes on Live League. Facebook's got lifelike bots with unbranded adverts and candid shots of Kanye and Taylor Swift mashups, car crash epic failed GIFs, Russian dashcam vids, discussions of McRibs, discarded, forgotten, unrecycled, muddled, rotten, untitled. Everything's fresh for about 6 seconds, until some newer thing beckons, and we hit refresh. And there's years of persevering, disappearing into the pile, out of style, out of sight.
Yes. Oh my god, yes. Hey, little boy. Don't mind me.
Whoop. Whoop.
Set you down. No. Set light. Whatever.
Whoop.
In this context, it's tempting to make friendly content that's gentle, that lets you churn through it but not earn it. Why make something demanding if it just gets piled up in the landfill, filed in with the bland things?
Whoop. Whoop.
No.
Whoop.
Oh my god. If I fall down there, I will kill. Not me. God, I swear to God, if I fall down
Whoop.
there again. Okay, so.
Whoop.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh, thank God.
Whoop. Oh. Whoop.
Wait a minute.
Oh. Whoop. Whoop.
No.
Oh, it happened again.
No.
Keep on trying, don't let it get to you.
This live stream is over. Before I explode and throw something. Okay. If you guys want me to play more, please do not tell me that. But I will if you do tell me. So please don't. If you guys like this video, smack that like button right on there. And hope you guys had a fun time watching this. I didn't have a fun time. I'm dying over here. Okay. And okay. I can't talk right now. I'll drink some monster. Okay. Comment if you guys want me to play this again. I hope you don't comment that. But if you do, I will play it again, and you guys get to see me rage more. And if you guys like this video, then I will also play more, and let's see how much likes we'll get on this video. Alright. Razor Gamer is about to go. Razor Gamer out.